In the past 10 days, a significant Russian counteroffensive in the Kursk region has resulted in severe losses and minimal gains. Despite deploying substantial armored units and infantry, Russian forces failed to achieve notable success, facing well-prepared Ukrainian defenses that inflicted heavy damage and forced retreat. This highlights the ongoing challenges Russia faces in regaining ground amidst persistent counteractions. This is a recent work by the 36th Marine Brigade in the Kursk region, destroying Russian equipment and infantry positions. And there is more. Ukrainian Special Operation Forces captured more Russian soldiers in the Kursk region. As of November 2024, during Ukraine's ongoing counteroffensive in the Kursk region, the Russian military has faced significant losses, including 717 soldiers captured. These figures are part of a broader estimate of over 20,000 Russian personnel casualties, comprising those killed and wounded. Russian soldiers who recently rioted in a barracks near Novosibirsk and tried to escape from it were protesting against being sent back to Ukraine despite being bedridden, on stretchers, blind, in the words of the commandant's office. The riot took place on the 13th of November at a barracks in Kochenyovo, which was housing soldiers assigned to the 35th Management Brigade, Military Unit 57,849, a subunit of the 41st Combined Arms Army. At least 10 soldiers escaped from the barracks but have since been recaptured. Soldiers from all over the Central Military District, who had previously voluntarily left military units for various reasons unrelated to service, are reported to have been assigned to the brigade, likely as an administrative measure. This includes numerous wounded men. According to one of the escapees, Viktor Sergeyev, the unit's command simply treated us badly. All the relevant documents, video, and voice messages have been sent to certain structures. That's it. The investigation is underway. Another soldier who was present at the time of the riot says there were at least 100 to 120 people in the barracks. There were probably only 8 to 10 people ready to go beyond the tape, i.e. to the front line. All the other patients are on crutches, with limited mobility. The men were brought there on the night of 8th November, apparently to concentrate them in one place prior to redeploying them to the front lines, but without first assessing their fitness to be deployed or even giving them medical treatment. In the morning, the sick soldiers began writing reports to the commander about providing medical care and a military medical examination, but these reports were never sent anywhere. There was a guy, he was missing half a foot on both legs. His military unit, I don't know which one, fired him, discharged him. Somehow they shoved him into this Kochenyovo unit, and he was there for a month. The commandant's office told the men, "You are not a transit camp here. They send everyone here to the front, bedridden, on stretchers, blind. No one cares what condition you are in." The soldier says that he and his fellow soldiers repeatedly asked for medical help. "We already realized that we would not pass the military medical examination since everyone there was shouting that you were all going to the war zone." Requests to the commandant and military prosecutor's office went unanswered, as did pleas to provide medical care to the men. This prompted the riot. The soldier highlights the case of one of the wounded, a Lieutenant Alexander Andreev, who he says lost the ability to speak after being wounded. Lieutenant Andreev can hear, but he is mute and communicates only by phone. He writes in notes and lets others read them. You understand he needs to learn sign language and he needs a phone now. And in this military unit, phones are taken away from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., and the man needs help. He has only one right hand that works. I personally cut his nails. The situation is such that he constantly needs help. To open a jar, pour coffee. He is prone to fall. Personally, I've been with him constantly since the 8th. Because of the injury, his head hurts and his eyes are watery. It feels like he has a constant fever. Andreev received neurological treatment and was assigned fitness category G, temporarily unfit. Despite this, he is said to have been sent to Rostov-on-Don, pending reassignment to the war zone. Badly injured Russians have previously been seen serving on the front lines. This report helps to indicate how they got there. Some Russian soldiers have even been killed in assaults while using walking canes. Despite protests from Russian mill bloggers at injured men being sent back to fight, the practice is evidently continuing. It highlights Russia's determination to throw as many men as possible into the fighting, regardless of their fitness. German Chancellor Scholz had a phone call with Putin today, condemning Russia's war of aggression against Ukraine. According to the spokesman of the German federal government, Stefan Gebestreit, Scholz condemned the Russian war of aggression against Ukraine and called on Putin to stop it and withdraw the troops. Judging his summary, this was a completely useless call. Dmitry Peskov reported on a phone call between Putin and Scholz. According to him, the initiative for the call came from the German side. The leaders outlined their positions, and Scholz emphasized the need for Putin's readiness to negotiate. It appears they found no common ground. Putin continues to insist on his earlier demands for Ukraine's capitulation.
Who initiated this conversation? The German side. The conversation took place at the initiative of the German side. That's its significance. Of course, there are efforts, attempts, rather to align positions of political will and to understand these positions firsthand. This is something that definitely cannot fail to bring satisfaction, but at the same time the discussions were detailed primarily about the Ukraine issue, Frank, as mentioned in our message, but there is no common ground in opinions here, so there are quite deep disagreements, but the mere fact of dialogue is quite straightforward. If you compare the statements from the German side and the Russian side, you'll see that the leaders expressed to each other what they think about the situation overall. The leaders, in general, shared with each other what they think about this situation. Of course, yes, and Putin told Scholz, detailed to Scholz, about our perspective of what is happening, about possible prospects for the development of the situation and so on. And Scholz reiterated his position, which is well known and repeated like a mantra by all European representatives several times a day. The official representative of the German federal government reports that the Chancellor insisted on Russia's readiness to negotiate with Ukraine. Isn't Russia ready? Yes, this readiness has been reiterated multiple times. You know, the President's speech in June, where he clearly outlined the circumstances that could serve as a precursor for the resolution of this conflict. All of these topics were on the agenda of the phone conversation that took place.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.